Welcome back, you beautiful people. I'm going to show you a few ways how to clean your steed with stees. As you can tell, my bike is super dirty. I've just done a big bike packing trip on my own, 2 days of it, and my bike has actually changed color. It's brown, but then look at the chain, it's just gone orangey. It's pretty much the same color as the frame itself. But there's a number of ways you can actually clean your bike. The simplest way is a bucket and a sponge, which is no problem there. You can clean your bike, but there's other ways as well, which I'm going to show you. Right, number one, there's nothing wrong with a bucket and a sponge to clean your bike with some soapy products to clean the bike, get the dirt all off. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not going to get in all those nooks and crannies. The next step is getting yourself some good brushes. Now, I've got a number of different kinds of brushes here. You got this one, the bog brush, which kind of looks like one. That can get in all the bigger bits and you can clean your bike with that. You got little brushes like this one, which can get into your chain and into your cassette on the rear. Again, another sponge for your cassette. And this one could be good for all your hubs to get in on your spokes and your rims and everything else. Adding that just adds a lot more value to cleaning your bike to get it nice and sparkly. Next up is the garden hose, just getting a little bit more pressure onto the bike just to remove all of the dirt from it. So you're using your foam, you're using the brushes, you're using your sponge, but then you're using a little bit more pressure just to push it off your bike. But there's another better step. Or you can use this. Now, thanks to Works for supplying me this product to help me wash my bike today. This is the Works Hydro Shot. It's basically a pressure washer that you click your hose on and you can boost the pressure within the pipe just to get that water come out a lot quicker and just to disperse all the dirt off your bike to make it super clean. Now, you can add this to any water source really. If you don't have a garden hose pipe, you can use the pipe that is provided with the product, click it on and put it into a bucket or any source of water just to pump it out and give you a lot more pressure so you can wash your bike. But that's not it. Take a look at this one. Oh, the beast. 56 bar. The pressure that comes out of this is way more than the other one, but this is the Works Nitro Hydro Shot. This thing is an absolute beast, but it can also not do any damage or detrimental damage to any of your drivetrain or any of your working parts. Just make sure that you can just stay well away from all of those working parts. Don't just fixate on that. But I'll explain that in a bit. Right, let me just talk about the product we've got here. This, like I said, is the Works Hydro Shot. It's a pressure washer. But in this little bundle that you get with this particular product is you get a great brush that is fed by the pressure washer, the Hydro Shot. You've got the hose pipe that would feed the gun itself. You've got a battery charger with this 20 volt one right here. It's a 2 amp hour battery. And this is your snow cannon. Basically, you put all your soapy stuff in here and it'll push water through and suck it up and turn it into snow, turn it into a big foamy beautifulness. I like this little guy. Then you got a collapsible bucket, which is great because if you don't have one at hand, you can fill this up in your kitchen sink or in the bathroom, fill it full of water, and you can suck it up by using the hose, by putting it in there, just like that. Perfect little combo. And it comes with this nifty little soft drinks bottle with any bottle that can fit on this little gubbin right here. Hose goes in there, contained with some water in here, and you can just clean it. Perfect. But if you've got like a number of bikes to clean, you can actually connect it to the hose that's 6 meters long, put it out in there, and then we've got 20 liters of water. First things first when it comes to washing your bike is just to rinse off all the dirt that's on there, all the big bits of dirt that are stuck on your bike. Give it a good old rinse, get rid of all of that grime before you start soaping it up and then rubbing it in, because you don't want to abrase your frame with all that dirt. Get rid of it, and also it softens up all that mud that has collected on your bike. You want to soften it up so it can come off nicely. All right, the little foam cannon. Now it is great. I do like it. It's good for automobiles, so like cleaning your car or your motorcycle. But when it comes to a bike, there's not much surface area for it to stick to. It is good if you like just wasting a little bit, but it's a perfect one, like I said, for washing your motorbike or your car. When you want to put soap on your bike, it's always best just use the bottle that is provided. Step 3 is to use a rag, a sponge, or some brushes just to help you get inside all the little nooks and crannies to get rid of all of the dirt. Now I do have a bucket at hand with some clean water, so I can just rinse off my brushes when I'm going, especially when the bike gets a little bit more muddier than it is as it is now. Whoa! Excited brush! Oh. Now drivetrains can get obviously oily because you'll be lubing your chain just to prolong the life of it. But when it builds up of gunk, mud, dust and everything with the lube on the chain, it can be really sticky mess. It can be oily, matter of fact, oily all over the place. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick some degreaser on there. Stick some degreaser on it, work it in with the brush, but the best bit, I'm going to use my Park Tool UP-3 pick, and look at this. Oh, get that out. To be honest, the grass has actually kept it clean. It's probably pushed out all the bit of grime inside there. But it is something nice and therapeutic about cleaning your jockey wheels. Look at that, all that grime on there. Make sure you gotta take notice of all those mud gathering areas, especially where the mud gets up in here if you don't have a mud guard. Another one is under your saddle, all under here, it gets caked in it, in here, down here by your BB, behind your chain ring, and obviously on your hubs, behind your cassette, your pedals, anywhere really, that's just gets all the mud. Underneath your BB gets quite caked, especially if you have a full suspension bike. There's a lot more that goes into washing one because there's lots of linkages where mud can sit, especially in all those bits down in the bottom there where your drivetrain gets caked in it. But luckily for me, all my full suspension bikes are clean. My hardtail, not so clean. So I've given it a nice good foam, I've given it a good clean with the brushes, degreased most of it over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a once over with the hydro shot and get rid of most of it and see what else needs to be cleaned, because I want to clean it really good. Okay, I've rinsed it. There's bits on here which I can't get off, but I now realise what it is. It's sealant. Where I had a little puncture, it's gone and squirted all over the place. But I got a product for that to remove any of that nastiness.
I woke up this morning, got me feeling brand new, like I know what to do, got me feeling nostalgic.
All right, I think we're done with water. Don't want to use too much. The hydro shot, perfect way of getting a lot of high pressure volume to your water just to clean up your steed, and you can use it anywhere. I'm in my garden, I've got no outside tap at the back of the house. I've just got this 20 litres of water bucket container thing, so I can just use it. But also I can use this thing in the van, whip this thing out. If you've got a container of 20 litres or 10, whatever, you can just plug that in with the hose and you can wash your bike before putting it into the car. Me, I've got 20 litres, well, 70 litres of fresh water in the van. I can wash my bike wherever I want. But you've also got that.
I'm like like a caterpillar turn into a butterfly. I'm on the grass, it's always greener on the other side. And we gon' make it out the struggle, though we traumatized. I used to take this life for granted.
Right, when it comes to your drivetrain, like drying your chain, I've just get a rag and just run it through the rag till it feels dry. Now, if you have a compressor, you could just put a light spray of air over it, not too deep because you don't want to move things around, just to get all, just to disperse the water. I'm going to run the chain through the rag. It's pretty clean. It's rusty. Obviously, it's a well-used bike. I use my bike quite a lot. Chain does look like it needs renewing, but I'm going to try and prolong the life of the chain. I'm just going to add some lubricant. Always lube your chain, especially if it's like really wintry months, which we're in now. It doesn't feel like winter, it's sunny, but use the correct lube for the season. This is the last step for me, and this is probably my favorite bit because you were protecting your bike, you're protecting your frame, you're protecting all of those bits that you love so much. Now, I'm using Protect and Shine. It smells incredible, probably why I like doing it. I like to apply it to a cloth, but then if you're applying it to your frame, you've got to make sure you don't go near your breaking points, your target points, which are your calipers, your discs, because as soon as you get on there, it contaminates it, and that's when you have to replace a few things, like your pads. So I like to protect it to be safe, spray it away from the bike, on your rag, and then just give it a good wipe all over. But if you do want to spray on the frame, just make sure you stay away from those bits down there. So what this does, the Protect and Shine, is basically helps make your bike look super shiny for race day shine look or showroom look, but also it helps protect your bike from dust and mud clinging to the bike when you go out riding. It helps make it look newer for longer or cleaner for longer. Oh man, I need some sunnies. I've outdone myself today, washing my bike. It's factory ready, race ready, out the box fresh. It's from the shop, it's new bike day, all of the above. There are my few top tips on how to wash your bike at home. Again, thanks to Works Power Tools for supplying me the Works Hydro Shot and the Works Hydro Shot Nitro, which has the brushless motor 2.0, depending on what kind of power you want. There we go. Look at that, it is brand new. It is brand spanking new. Let us know in the comments down below, how do you wash your bike, to give us other folks some inspiration and some ideas on how to wash their bike when they get home. Hopefully you enjoy this video, and I'll see you next time. See ya. Cup of tea? Cup of tea, yes.